Ladies, good evening and welcome to Parkhome and Holiday Park Association. My name is Bradley Chapman. I'm Director General of the Association, and tonight we have an incredible lineup of esteemed guests that are members of our association, but also representatives of an incredible industry that is booming. The UK leisure, residential and holiday park sector is experiencing an incredible growth period. After much anticipated pain and delays with COVID of opening, the industry is booming. Now, for many aspects, the industry is growing. Production for park homes, lodge parks and leisure parks is at an all-time high. The requirement for park homes is growing in number. In fact, so much so that production lines are backed up and many production companies are now taking orders well into 2022. From a service point of view, the industry is really at a stage where new and innovative service providers are required and needed to come into the industry to help it to move forward, to help it to grow, to help it to generate increased revenue streams and to provide an incredible base for holidaymakers, for residential homeowners, and of course, for the businesses in general to grow. That also comes with a recruitment drive of people coming into work within the industry. This evening, we are blessed to be joined with an incredible gentleman called Mr. Alfie Best. Recently, Alfie Best appeared on ITV's Undercover Big Boss. And what an incredible program it was to watch, from the emotion of seeing Alfie actually going undercover, from putting his hand down drains and being the king of the baby wipes, all the way through to his father, give him a kiss goodnight. It was a program that was full of emotion and full of commercial awareness and spirit. We're going to turn to him first of all. Mr. Alfie Best, thanks very much indeed for joining us. Thanks for coming on and sharing this incredible time. You've had a credible industry journey, 20 years, running over 90 residential and holiday parks. Why is the industry booming and growing at the moment, Mr. Best, and how do you feel that it's going to grow in the future?
Wouldn't know, I'm William Finney. I think we're in a phenomenal time. I think the industry will get stronger and stronger, and slowly it's coming to the forefront and being recognised. Before, park home, whether it was holiday or whether it was residential, was actually seen as a second-rate holiday or a second-rate accommodation. That's not the case anymore. You know, park home living is categorically the solution to affordable housing. There's no question about that. It's free, it's giving people a life that they could never have had. The government are never going to back it because it's not financially viable for them. Let's look at this realistically. There's no land registry fee. There's no stamp duty. Council tax is band A. Electricity is 28% cheaper. The reason it's 28% cheaper is purchased 9 times out of 10 through one commercial meter at the front of the park, which gives you a lower meter reading per kilowatt than what you would buy in your household home. So all of that, coupled with you're on band A council tax, makes it a lot cheaper place to live when you're buying a home. Secondly, you've got park homes that are on average 50% or more cheaper than a like-for-like square footage brick-built bungalow in the area, which are actually in decline because builders aren't building them quite as much. Holiday homes. Okay, at the moment, it's expensive to holiday in Britain. But what the customer isn't realising, there has been shutdown and lockdown periods that have to be made up for. So parks aren't benefiting because the prices have increased due to supply and demand. They're actually making up for the lost time and lost cause where they were shut down. Now, why ever governments decided to shut down holiday parks where there were homeowners that owned those, I don't know, because I didn't see the point in why it wasn't possible to isolate in your holiday home. I know loads of people that did it around the world, so I couldn't see why Britain was any different. But categorically, we are on a hype. Where on earth would you ever have seen a caravan park, especially a residential caravan park, having the privilege of going on to an ITV programme and being formulated on there? Normally, we're put in the back street. It's now our time to come forward. Not only is the economy growing, not only does it, but what it does need to do, it needs to come together more. It's been too segregated. It's been a cottage style industry for too long. And, you know, without me singing your praises, Bradley, the associations that have been out there, unfortunately, have not catered for the park operators. What they've catered for is the residents and the homeowners. Well, that's fine. And I understand there needs to be procedures, there needs to be levels at which you are in an association. But if I'm paying to be a member of an association, I want that association to work with me, not against me. So where park homes are concerned, where holiday homes are concerned, static caravans, I actually see us as the IT of the housing, because it's growing at such a rate with no help, no grant funded businesses. You go to housing, there is grants, there's innovations. Where have we managed to ever have that? And yet these businesses are still continuing to grow. Now, there's a lot of throwbacks that we have to put up with as a business, such as when we buy a park, 9 times out of 10, that's a very, very old park. So we have to refurbish it. We have to redo the drains, redo the electric, redo the roads. All of that is a disruption, which causes problems to the residents that live on site. But that only goes to increase the value of their home. Now you would say, well, why can't people see that? Well, it's very simple. It's no different than buying a house and refurbishing the house. The house is going to go up in value. The only problem is normally nobody lives in the house while you're refurbishing it. And they're the things that park owners are up against. And one of the other problems that I think park owners, whether it be holiday, residential, touring, your resident or your customer or your holiday homeowner or whatever the case may be, who's visiting your park, doesn't know the law. They are told by a layman that doesn't understand, and I use the 83 Act, and they'll read it and explain how they believe it is. Whereas, for instance, one of the points that we come up with is that we're responsible for everything on the park. When in actual fact, we're not. As a company, we are responsible for the communal areas, the roads, the drains, the bases. We're not responsible for the plots. The plot is the responsibility. And new park that I bought yesterday, I'm walking around there, and the lady wanted her bushes cut because the previous owner couldn't take the abatement of it and used to cut their grass inside the plot and cut the bushes. And I said, well, we don't do that. We work by the terms of the government 1983 Mobile Home Act. I said, it states very clearly you're responsible for that. We don't even have right of access unless we asked you and get a notice to come in. So I think now's the time for growth, more so than anything, because the park home industry has all of a sudden started to become recognised more than it's ever been, more than it's ever been. From councils, we did a small program the other day about certificates of lawful use, and we were the only park operator, and it was on Country File, that actually stood up and said, no, this is correct. This is proper and right, and this is a legal avenue. We actually got well endorsed by the program. There were other operators, big operators, that weren't prepared to be filmed or go on there and speak out. Well, by hiding, and I'm a gypsy, so I've had to hide my identity all my life. But it also seems to me that some park operators, they're hid because they believe the council is against them, and they are. Because what they had to say, which was derogatory against the other operators, because they didn't appear. So they didn't give themselves that voice. I can't hear you, Bradley.
Sorry, Alf, carry on. I've just put it back to screen view.
Right, okay. So look, going forward, I think it is so important for the park home industry to come together so much more than it's ever been before. I think it's so important that we have groups that actually work like residents associations, but instead of working against the park operator, working for the park operator. Think of the jobs, the planning, the housing, and what we're doing for the economy. All of that plays a big part because we're doing more than a lot of businesses that are allowing people to send money away. What we're doing is keeping the revenue here in the UK.
100%. And we've only got Alfie about 25 minutes tonight. So what I want to do now, ladies and gents, is I want to go round the table, just introduce your company and your services, a quick intro. Then we're going to go to Henry Simmons and back to Alfie, and then we're all going to engage in conversation. Now, we have a raft of suppliers online, and we have a number of different park operators. In the bottom right-hand corner, we have Dave and Kerry Woodhead from Pinewood Parks. Now, once we've done a round robin, I'm going to jump to Dave and Kerry. Alfie, stand by. Nick Gardner, please, can I just ask you there to unmute your system? I'm trying to unmute yourself. Nick, please run an introduction of the company. Unmuted, away you go, sir.
Hi, Nick Gander, Director and Founder of Energy Carbon UK. We're an award-winning heating product from Germany that we have the sole rights to the UK and Ireland, and we also supply MVHR, which is mechanical heat and ventilation system that's decentralized.
Thank you very much indeed, Nick. Keep your microphone on. We're going to move to Darren Brown now. Then we're going across to Ian Duggan. Darren, if I can ask you to unmute yourself. And again, all of you, thank you so much for your support and joining the association. As Alfie said, together, we really can start to make a difference. Darren Brown, ladies and gentlemen.
I am Darren Brown, CEO of Orbital Internet Group, which owns VFast. VFast now has a dedicated section serving the park industry, with high capacity broadband direct to the actual caravan bases and home bases.
Thank you, Darren. Thank you very much, Darren. I know it's a very important service, internet service provider, and there's many parks that are struggling with speed. And I know that after our discussion, you're going to help resolve some of those internet speeds and provide a much more faster, slick ISP service. Moving across to Ian Duggan. Ian, can you introduce yourself? And then across to Joseph Finney, please.
Hi, Ian Duggan, Marsh Commercial. Been in the park sector for around 6 years. Marsh Commercial, a large broker. What I'm going to talk to you about today is something different than traditional insurance. So it's another alternative for you. That'll be of interest.
Thank you very much indeed, Ian. We're looking forward to hearing just a bit later. I just want you guys, while Alfie and Henry's on board, you get the opportunity to present yourself and introduce yourself to Alfie Best and Henry Simmons. Across to Joseph Finney, please. Park Home Refurbishment. Hi, Joseph. Just need to unmute there, Joseph. Just unmute your broadcast. Sorry, sir. I thought, where you go, all clear.
There we go. We're on. Sorry there, Bradley. Yeah. So I'm Joseph Finney, Park Home Shield. We're a refurb company. We specialise in refurbs of older homes, surveys, etc. We do maintenance plans, all kind of things like that. We'd like to talk about tonight is refurbing some of the older homes because it is so difficult for park owners now to get the newer homes. So I'd like to talk about refurbing some of the older ones and putting them on site.
Great stuff, Joseph. And if we can go across to, please, to the incredible Nick Kirk Norcross. Kirk, as many of you may know, has appeared as on Towie many years back. He runs his own company now. And Kirk, good evening. Thanks for turning up. Welcome. Introduce yourself, sir.
How you doing, guys? I'm Kurt Norcross, owner of K & Jet Services. Owned K & Jet Services for 3 years, and I'm going to be talking to you about how I can provide my service to park homes around the country to benefit the park homes and the residents in them.
Fantastic. And we'll go to Joel Vandermolen. Joel Vandermolen runs a company which is called, well, Joe, let you do the introduction. Unmute yourself. You've just come back from the Cannes Film Festival. Just unmute there, Joel.
Unmute. There we go. Yes, I've got a suntan from Cannes. Hi, Bradley. Thanks for doing this. And hi, Hi, Alfie. Yeah, we've got Vandermolen Films. We document people's life story in a beautiful film for family to treasure forever, to become a family keepsake and leave a legacy that lives forever. Quite a distance from the whole park industry, but I support what you do, and I'm happy to listen to hear what everybody does as well.
Fantastic. And welcome, Joel, and looking forward to meeting you on another matter on Friday, sir. Now let's go to Dave and Kerry Woodhead. I know that you guys are on your glamping site changeover evening and you're limited on time. Henry Simmons, sir, just stand by. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you an incredible couple, Dave and Kerry Woodhead. They've run a glamping and camping site for about 15 years. And from their point of view, running their site has been absolutely incredibly filled with passion, persistence, and I've watched them during COVID, during lockdown, keep photographing, keep building. And recently they secured a planning permission to increase the footprint and build of their residential home, increasing the overall asset of their land and their business. Ladies and gentlemen, Dave and Kerry Woodhead, award winners from the first ever Park Home and Holiday Park Association award for the glamping sector. Introduce yourself, ladies and gents.
Hi, Brad. Hi, everybody. I think you did a great job of introducing us anyway there, Brad, but lovely to be here and joining you all.
Okay, you guys, I know you've only got a certain amount of time before you go. So I just wanted you very briefly, before I go to Sandy and to Kim, and of course to Henry Simmons, and we've got Alfie. Look, you guys are in the field. You're running a single park with every ounce of passion. As an association, it doesn't matter for us, your creed, your color, your religion, your background, or where you come from. The only thing for us that's important is that you're a park operator. It runs through your blood, and that's what you want to push forward. And then together, as a group of individuals, as the association grows in strength and numbers, we can represent the growth of the industry. You're an operator that's running a park and you've been at it. You've worked night and day. So first of all, I have to salute you. How busy is it at the moment? What are you guys going through within the glamping, the camping sector? How busy are you? And then tonight it's changeover. What's happening on park?
We are the busiest we've ever been in 15 seasons, which is really incredible, and definitely glad to be running around like headless chickens. So today's another changeover day, but it's incredible since we've been managed to reopen again.
Okay, and it looks like to me that you're sitting on top of that lovely house that you're building, which I shared some time with you when I did road trip number 2 to Scarborough, looking at that incredible view while you were discussing the property asset blueprint of your business. Now, we'll come back to that when we talk about finances and investment and park home sites as a property asset investment. But you've done exactly that. You've now secured incredible planning permission for a brand new 6 or 7, what was it, 8-bedroom home, and it looks absolutely fantastic. You now have that commercial choice to decide whether to split your commercial business and your residential premises. But look, you know, what is it like, you know, grinding day in and day out as an operator, hands-on with a single site? And your residents love you, I know that. What is it like? How does it feel?
It's a challenge. Every day is a challenge, but a good challenge, isn't it? Yeah, and every day is different, and we get to meet some fantastic people, and yeah, it's not as hard work when you do meet really nice people every day, to be honest.
But we have, like Alf pointed out, we have had trouble with the council even getting to the point we've got to now, and I think they need to open their eyes. We're in a Scarborough, you know, it's a holiday town, and our council aren't adhering to sort of the thing that brings the money to this area. They're just, you know, they're hard work. So, you know, from what he was saying, that's been one of our hardest things. The rest on here is quite a breeze, really, but the council have been hard to get through.
Listen, we appreciate, I know it's changed overnight. I know you guys have got limited time. So thank you very much indeed for coming on. I appreciate it. I had to get you on the quick and rotate. Please do feel to stay as long as you can, but I appreciate it's changeover. Ladies and gentlemen, just going back to Henry Simmons. Henry Simmons is a park home operator in the residential field. And also is a colleague and a connect of Mr. Alfie Best. They're both incredible gentlemen that run incredible parks. And of course, as park operators, the intention is to grow. Henry, what's your thoughts on the industry and the growth that lies ahead for residential, for holiday and leisure parks, sir?
Hi, everyone.
Thanks, Bradley. I run residential parks and touring parks, and I do think we're in for a big growth now, just due to the economy, the pandemic, and the holiday seasons where we're going to go on holiday this year, next year, and even the year after. So I do agree, with all the camping, the caravan clubs, the holiday parks, and even the residential, everything's going to be very busy. And even the manufacturers now is sold out for 18 months. So we're in for a big ride now. So we're going to be very busy, hopefully. Sorry, Bradley.
No, I'm sorry, I interjected there, Henry. Sorry, sir.
What Alfie said is very true. I think now we're really all going to grow, and it's really going to be a very busy time, Bradley, now. So the growth, and also for the economy, to keep everything in Britain, it's going to be very, very big. But it's really finding the parks and getting together and, upgrading everything, like Alfie said. There's lots of work to be done all the time. Holiday parks, residential parks, even the touring parks, the caravan and clamping. We've all got bills, and there's lots of work to be done and to maintain this to a very high standard.
No, we appreciate that, Henry. We appreciate you coming on board. And again, we presented an award, a Park Home and Holiday Park Association award, to Organford Manor Park, which is owned and operated by the Simmons family. And it was an incredible park on an incredible road trip, actually sponsored by the motorhome hire that Mr. Best owns. Let me just go back to Mr. Best while we've got him, because I know he's very busy and he has to jump off. So, Mr. Best, there are a number of businesses that you own and operate within the industry, from residential parks, holiday parks, leisure parks, and also motorhome companies as well. Do you believe that you will look for further businesses that could be added on to add the value of what your industry is? And if so, could you give any insights to what you're currently looking at?
The only businesses that we will tend to look at are businesses that already complement what we're already doing. We want to obviously still expand our portfolio of parks, and our goal is to become the world's biggest park operator. That's not just a pipe dream, it will happen. Currently, as where we sit, we completed on 2 parks on Friday. So we're now currently sitting at 93. We need to double in size to be the world's biggest, but we will be. That's not could be, would be, we will be. Varun Motorhome Hire was a company that we bought at liquidation. We bought it 2 years ago. It's now the 3rd largest motorhome hire company in the UK. Now, we have several other businesses, from football clubs to golf courses, to a small finance company, to an import-export of furniture. But all of those businesses tie into the businesses that we do. Because the most important thing that I believe to make you successful in whatever business you're doing is focus. Staying on track of what you do. And if you can't do that, that means you're diluting. Now that's fine when you have a very good team of people, and I do have an exceptional team of people that help keep all the businesses on track. The most important thing is to stay focused with what you're doing. I'll go to the glamping. Very, very important to stay focused and build further pods and push the boundaries wherever you can, because these opportunities that we have now will not last. This is famine or feast. There are other businesses that have failed in the pandemic. We have to embrace what God has given us, because this is our luck to be in the industry that we're in that is buoyant. But remember, and they can close us again. So when we have the opportunity to make revenue, reinvest that revenue, as we will be doing, and let's grow all of our businesses together. And the idea of obviously coming together on podcasts like this together, networking events as such, is, and these will become bigger and bigger. The idea is we work with trusted people. We have people that are in an association that can help us forward. And that's what I'm more looking forward to than anything.
Absolutely fantastic. And it's incredible information and some credible feedback from Mr. Alfie Best and also from Mr. Henry Simmons. Now, just while I've got Henry and Alfie, and I know they're both very, very busy. Sandy Gardner, we spoke yesterday and before. I know that Kim was talking to you originally. Now, you are working with a company that is an EV charging company. Now, as we spoke, you said, Bradley, can you find me a couple of parks where I can install completely free EV charging units? The company will pay for the EV charging units. The company will pay for the infrastructure and they will manage them. So I'm just looking for some park operators that can have a couple of these charging points installed in parks that are fairly high in either traffic or footfall. Well, you're now sitting in front of two gentlemen, Mr. Alfie Best and Mr. Henry Simmons, who run parks and a glamping park operator. So Sandy, just very, very quickly, introduce yourself, please, to Mr. Alfie Best and Henry Simmons. It may be something that could be benefited on one of their parks. Just very quickly, 2 minutes. As Alfie says, you've got 30 seconds or the door's closed. Away you go, Sandy.
Thanks. Hi, I'm Sandy Gardner. I'm looking for 10 parks in the country, high footfall, to fit completely free. Not that nonsense where it's free and then there's some charge afterwards. This is completely free. 5% revenue back to you over a 10-year period. All we are looking for is data flow. We are looking to see how much data, how much electric vehicles these parks are using. That is literally it. If anyone is interested, please give me a shout. I would be very grateful to take your call.
Okay, so Sandy, I'm going to let Alfie's going to say something, I think.
Yeah, can I just say, well, Sandy, you've got us on board, and I'm sure that you've got a lot of other park operators that are here that are on board as well. Because if what you're saying is absolutely correct and true, yeah. I've got to say that, we're on board because we're all right. We're all correct, and we're already fitting charging points to some of our parks. But I can't say that they're high footfall parks, but it's really about you looking at which parks suit you. Yes. Because you're going to want to bring outside people to charging points, so they must be fitted in the right allocated spot that's not going to interfere with the park. Absolutely. But anything that works for us and works for you, that's a marriage made in heaven. So for us, we're on board. If you can just email us. Okay. And my email address where I need it to go to is to my assistant, which is ea@wildcrestparks.com. EA at Wildcrest Parks. I can guarantee to you we will be coming back to you.
Okay, so there you go, Sandy. You've come on board. You've got the email address as quickly as that. So also, I want to now just turn to Henry Simmons and take Alfie's view before we bring in our suppliers. While we've got incredible people on board, we've got Alfie for 2 more minutes. I'm pushing time now. Henry, you've recently tested a touring park, which we had the great pleasure to stay at Simmons Farm Estates. Now, when we drove down, our event was sponsored on the PHHPA road trip by Vroom. We took the Vroom, we went down and we stayed at your touring park. So between Alfie, between Kerry Woodhead, Dave Woodhead and Henry Simmons, but Henry specifically, first of all, what are your thoughts on the touring market, and are there opportunities for park operators to increase another revenue stream?
Yeah, hi Bradley. Yeah, for sure. We've just opened up our touring park in Dorset, and at the moment, out of, I believe, 283 or 84 parks, we've been voted to number 12 in the area. So that's good news for us. Now, we've opened up on the 2nd of July. On Saturday last week, we had 37 caravans in there. So it's already booming for us already, which is great news. For a new business opened up, that's very, very big for us. And I do think there's going to be a lot more of this touring caravans, motorhomes going around the countryside. People's not explored the UK, like Cornwall, Devon, you know, a lot of people who's flown straight over to Spain. And I think now they're going to take a different view. Are the motorhomes buy a new caravan, go clamping, see different things. Things has changed for sure.
Thank you. Thank you.
Getting another income stream. If they've got extra land, you know, why not have the 60 days like the government's give us permitted development rights and just carry out that and get extra revenue? We all need it for the parks to upgrade again.
Fantastic. Some great insights. And Henry, I really appreciate that. And incredible parks. I just want to bring in Joseph Finney to bring into the conversation between Alfie and Henry. Alfie, I know that you've got to go for a meeting, sir. As soon as we've done, just let me know. And obviously, just say goodbye. We appreciate your time tonight, sir. Thank you. Joseph, you were talking to the association about park home refurbishments, and we were talking about stock shortages in the market right now. We had a discussion about improving older units, to refurbish them, to bring them up to standard, to compensate where there's a shortage of stock. I'm sure that you wanted to ask for feedback on park home refurbishments to both Henry and, of course, to Mr. Best. So fire away, sir.
Yeah, thanks, Bradley. So my questions was, I mean, what is their opinion on it? I mean, I know Henry's parks are to a very high standard. I've been to them, I've seen them. They are beautiful. Same with Alfie's, they're all to a good standard. The homes that they put on, again, they're all to a good standard. Obviously, older homes, people are very worried about them, but for the price that we can refurb them and the state that we can put them to are as good as new. So what is their opinion on putting older homes on the parks?
Can I come in first, if I can, Joseph? Again, we are already refurbishing homes by using a couple of other companies. That's the honest truth. I went to a park yesterday, which was Brookside Park. We'd only just bought it, and they were just about to knock that home down. Now, previously, potentially, so would we have done. I stopped them. Because the home is fully refurbishable, and you're absolutely right. Before, it was easier to bring the park up and put a new home there and get rid of anything that was, 30, 40 years old that we possibly bought back, or even older. Now times have changed, and I think there is some great opportunities. What I would say again, the email number that I've just got, I'm more than happy for you to quote for us. We're in the business of selling homes, so we are running short of stock. We sell 200 new homes a year. Every single year we sell 200 homes. So we can't get the stock quick enough at the minute to be able to, and I don't want to lose this opportunity. So yes, we are already working with some other operators. I'd much rather work with people that are in the group. Please email me. Please send me the number over. I'll give you 2 to go and quote for next week.
That sounds good. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
And there we go. We really appreciate that as well. Going back to gallery view, I'm just trying to squeeze in as much as I can. Kirk Norcross. This is somebody that's coming into the industry, that's brand new into the industry. He's not new to fame and TV as appearing on Towie, but also his own business, K and Jet Services. Incredible. Alfie, thank you very much indeed for coming.
Thanks,
So we
everybody.
appreciate your
Thanks.
time spent with us this evening. Actually, Alfie had about 20 minutes. He's given us more time. We really are thankful. Thank you. So, Kirk, we want to bring the association forward. So we've got service providers. So we have park operators coming together so that we can all benefit from park growth and service provisions. Your product and service is jet washing services. Now, a lot of park operators want to keep their parks, their static parks, the roofs of their homes clean to make sure the appeal is there, increase in the value of the site. You're going to be dealing with roofs, and you're going to be dealing with static caravans, jet washing and cleaning. You can improve the quality. Why don't you ask this question to Henry, what he feels about the jet washing and cleaning services onto park to help increasing the quality of park, the quantity of the quality of the units, and what that can do for the impact of the park itself. Fire away, Kirk.
Hi guys, how you doing? Bradley, thank you very much for having me on. And guys, yeah, nice to meet you all. How do you feel? I've been lucky enough actually to be the sole trader on the Wildcrest Parks. It's external cleaning, which I like to put myself down as, because I believe jet washing, pressure washing will put a lot of residents off of using our services. I generally believe from experience and hard work that pressure washing and jet washing isn't what has to be done on every kind of material. We clean roofs from a soft wash to a light pressure wash, steam clean. And I wanted to know, I know the residents own their homes, but it is also due to the park and the park owner to make sure within reason that their residents keep their homes clean. Because if I was to go to a park home to either go on a holiday or to purchase one, it all has to look clean, you know. And I think, is there more legs for me to progress, just not from Wildcrest to the park homes and holiday homes around the country?
Yeah.
Fabulous question, Kirk. I appreciate that. Henry, what is your view on someone coming in new into the industry that wants to provide those types of services across the blanket of the holiday, leisure, camping, glamping, parks, etc., from a cleaning point of view, but mainly looking at static caravans and how we can keep them clean and the benefits of that for a park operator?
Bradley, can you hear me all right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, no, I welcome the idea. I think it's a good idea. With the holiday sector and the statics under trees, they will go green, and they do need doing. And if they're at a certain age or they haven't got the room for jet washers, I do welcome the idea on board for sure, definitely. And even the driveways, the roofs, yeah. You know, I'd say to Kirk, drop me an email and come down. I've got a couple here I'd like to have some demonstrations on and move forward with that for sure.
Thank you very much, Henry. Pleasure.
And there you go, Kirk. So the idea and the concept of the association is to, wherever possible, to bring people together. Now, of course, it's not every day we've got the opportunity to have incredible park operators like Henry Simmons on board, very professional, that's been around the industry, and Mr. Alfred Best. I know that Henry's only here for a short period of time as well. He's a very, very busy man. We have Ian Duggan. Ian is online at the moment from an insurance point of view. And Ian, obviously, you're going to be talking about your company and what you're offering is. And of course, experienced park operators already have their insurance process. But while you've got the ears of park operators on board, and normally what we would do is we'd approach a park operator and say, would you like to speak to me? My name's Ian and this is what I do. And, you know, we've got to go through the whole gatekeeper process. What we're trying to do with the association is to break down those barriers to have a free conversation. Now, not all of us will be able to supply into each other and work with each other, but as an association, it's a brotherhood, a sisterhood, where we may not know somebody that it's right for, it may not be right for us, but we may know a friend who's in the industry, or we can introduce. That's where we want to get to. Marsh Insurance Services. What are the insurance services that Marsh are offering, and how can you benefit park operators?
Okay, thanks for that. So, yeah, a typical insurance broker, all park policies will be a basic policy. So it's usually a commercial combined policy that would be buildings, contents, business interruption, etc. What Marsh can do extra is we can also look at energy insurance, solars, wind turbines. So any part we're talking about diversity, we can cover it. It's not just one product. We can cover a whole range, whether it's in the UK or global, because we're a global insurer. We have specialist policy for cyber risk. A lot of parks think that because they're a small park, they're not going to get hacked. Well, if you think of a cyber risk that's nothing to do with hacking, it might be actual internal staff that send an incorrect email or something like that. Suddenly you're facing a GDPR risk. So cyber can help with that as well. We've also got a range of typical motor insurers, which I'm sure a lot of brokers have got. We talked about the motorhomes earlier. We actually cover ownings within the motor. We actually do agreed value on the prestige cars, so like the park owners with the prestige and the sports cars. We talked about electric charging and things earlier, so we cover the cables, we cover the authorised garages. I think one thing we do that most others don't do, or certainly a lot of the others don't do, is that we can offer a parametric insurance, which is different to traditional insurance. So in this particular case, it could be flood. If your park can't get flood cover or it's limited, what you can do is you can look at a policy that's a parametric insurance. Okay, it's quite unique, but all it is, it's a sensor that's probably a metre and a half high. It's basically fitted to your building. You choose a trigger height, so it might be 30 centimetres, it might be 40 centimetres. The higher it is, the cheaper the premium, and you get to choose your payout for it. So the way it works is that if you've got a large building that's worth a lot of money, traditionally you have to insure the whole building for let's say £200,000. On flood insurance, you don't. You can just say if you want to dry the floor, or you just want to cover the stock for £30,000, £40,000, whatever you choose. That's what you do. So an engineer will come out, he will fit the sensor. It's all censored, it's all wireless, and it's all triggered. You don't even need to be on park. If it floods, the sensor will tell the insurance company. You will get paid out within 3 days, which is superb. And the quickest claim payout we've had so far is 9 hours. It's really, really good.
And someone's typing away furiously on a keyboard, and I can't hear who's typing away, and I've got you all muted. I really do appreciate that. Henry's got his hands free. Now, look, I know that Henry's going to have to jump off very, very shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this on live, thank you very much indeed for joining. For the attendees, if you're watching this on recorded, this is the Park Home and Holiday Park Association webinar series number 1. Why is the UK parks industry booming? This evening, we've been joined by Mr. Alfie Best, the incredible Mr. Henry Simmons, and many other park operators and suppliers that are members of the association, as we move forward to bring you more an insightful, educational and inspired webinar series where more members of the association come together to share their thoughts and their ideas. And ladies and gentlemen, we aim and intend to put together an awards gala evening in London, December this year, where hopefully all of the park operators, all of the park suppliers will come together, where we will have national finalists and national award winners, and we'll be able to get stuck into a table and some dinner and some good times and some fine wine to celebrate this successful year. For many park operators and suppliers, this is boom time. And as they say, ladies and gentlemen, make hay while the sun shines, and the sun is shining on the parks industry. Last year, when I look back through COVID-19 and the challenges that I faced personally within my business, as many of you did, it was an unfortunate scenario. But it was something that now I look back upon with thanks, and I look back upon with gratitude, because it's taught us to be stronger. It's taught us to be more resilient. And as Mr. Best said, and Mr. Henry Simmons has said, to stay focused on your business, to stay the course, will enable you to grow your business and to grow your network. This is Park Home and Holiday Park Association webinar series. We're going to go to Mr. Nick Gander now, who is one of our what I call the environmental fighters, the men and the lady of esteemed value that's helping to save the planet. Nick Gander is producing some incredible products and services that's helping our parks to become more energy efficient. Nick Gander, come online, sir, unmute yourself. And I'm going to ask Kim to ask you some questions. Of course, sitting patiently in the top right-hand corner of your screens is my co-director and partner, Mrs. Kim Wright, and also my fake wife on Undercover Big Boss, where we went undercover to question Alfie Salesman, where I dyed my hair black and couldn't get it out for 8 weeks. And I was walking past people that were saying to me, look at that man, he's having a midlife crisis. So Kim, over to you to introduce Mr. Nick Gander, please. And yes, the dye's just about come out. Probably still had a midlife crisis, to be fair. I'm 50. Kim, over to you.
Good evening, everybody. Nick, I can't see you, but are you on? Can we hear you? Yes, I'm here. Hello, Nick.
All good.
It's lovely to see you. So I've spoken to you recently, and you explained a little bit about your business to me. Would you like to explain what your main product is to the people listening? Because that's the one that I believe you're thinking will.
Yeah, for sure. It was really, first of all, thank you, Kim. It was your good self that invited me to the association. And certainly something I feel that's been required for quite a few years now for this industry. It's been really interesting listening to Alfie Best, actually, and his thoughts on the industry. And, you know, we're talking about a boom industry at the moment. To be honest with you, I thought this industry was one of the biggest boom industries in the UK anyway for the last 10 years. And it's lovely to see that, you know, everything's coming together now, really, because obviously with energy carbon, we supply heating solutions, and this is all going towards tackling the climate change and obviously finding the, excuse me, the best low carbon heating solution that comes in line and falls in line with the government's future home standard. However, as Alfie has pointed out, you know, these park homes are getting to the point where people are living in them. They're very good quality built homes. So bearing in mind the government are talking about saving energy because heating is one of our biggest carbon producers. So as your industry grows, I see no reason why the park owners, the people that live in these park homes and people that holiday there shouldn't be allowed to have the very latest technology. So very quickly, I mean, Energy Carbon, we're a supplier of a German designed and manufactured total comfort heating solution. It was designed in the Dresden University using waste products from this particular manufacturer. So that's a good thing in itself. It's all fully tested with TUV certification and CE approval, and over a 3-year continuous test house now with a family living it in Germany, proving its energy saving credentials. In the UK, we've had it tested at the Bisra Test Centre, passed with flying colours, and with over 100,000 linear metres supplied, Energy Carbon has had 0 failure rates to date, so it gives total peace of mind. Our product, of course, is a low carbon heating solution that's been very successful in Europe for the last 6 years and now accepted in the GEG German building regulations to be installed in homes when using solar panels. At present in the UK, we've been supplying builders and modular home manufacturers that have been choosing to look for a solution in ready, if you like, for the gas switch off in 2025. With that, you know, you guys have only got a few options for heating, exactly the same as the buildings are going to have soon. The builders are going to have soon, and that's going to be electric water boilers, gas, colour gas boilers, storage radiators, or electric panel heaters. The downsides to all of these heating products, exactly the same as buildings, are they're not very eco-friendly. They can lead to condensation issues, leading to mould, warm, stuffy air, airborne dust and pollens, and of course, you know, runaway costs. So with our product, we use FIR, far infrared technology. We avoid heating the air, unlike all the other heating systems available, and instead we heat all the surfaces, so floors, walls, ceilings, and the occupants directly. It's got a very fast reaction time, allowing for lower room temperatures and still feeling very, very comfortable. Remember, every 1 degree that we can turn down our thermostats is another 6% saving to energy that can be made. And of course, that in turn reduces your running costs. Our heating solution can be installed in the floor or walls. However, we're great fans of having it in the ceiling, just like nature with the sunshine. And with a 50% coverage of the ceiling, we can give 100% coverage of heating to the end user. And our product, unlike infrared panels, we give the most comfortable total comfort heating solution to the occupants with an even controllable temperature across the whole home, avoiding overheating to the occupants and giving a nice dry, cool air to breathe without the usual worries for asthmatics or hay fever sufferers, as we avoid, you know, any of the convection roll.
You know, Nick, let me just interrupt you. Let me just take the microphone back 1 second. Do you know what I think, Nick, and just fantastic. Do you know who's going to be the best networker at the Gala Awards this year in London? Mr. Nick Gander, very professional. I really, really can't wait to do a live broadcast on a one-to-one. But the reason for breaking in, I know that Henry Simmons has to go. He's got a meeting, I believe, in London. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to bring Henry back on so we can say goodbye to Henry. And I'd like us all really just to thank Henry for his time. He really is an incredible connector in the industry. Henry Simmons, sir, first of all, thank you for having us on the Park Home and Holiday Park road trip. We appreciate you coming on this evening. Just wanted to say on behalf of myself and Kim and the rest of our members, thank you, sir. And can I just ask you to shout out your websites and where we can find you? And if there is contact details, I can provide them later. I would never share contact details unless otherwise requested. But website, sir?
Certainly, right. But thank you, Bradley, and thank everybody else. Email is info@residentialparkhomes.co.uk, and our website is www.residentialparkhomes.co.uk. But everyone, please email. Let's see if we can all join together, join forces, and see if we can all help each other for sure.
An absolute gentleman. Henry, sir, thank you very much for your time. It's very much appreciated. Darren Brown, I'm going to go to you now. Darren, internet service provider. And again, what I will be providing after this webinar is a connection sheet subject to confirmation of everyone's connection details so you can all network and move forward. And for any of you that want a direct introduction, either to Henry or to Alfie Best, just give me a shout and let me know and I'll introduce you directly, of course. Let's go to Darren Brown. Interestingly, internet service provider. And ladies and gentlemen, Parkham and Holly Park Association webinar series 1. I'm trying to crunch as much as I can into a very short period of time to give watchers as much value and our members as much value of connectivity as well. Mr. Darren Brown, internet service provider, be fast.
Thank you, Bradley. Good evening, everyone. I'll try and be as quick as I can then, so as not to take up too much time.
Okay.
I'll give you a quick brief history on the company. So in the late 90s, I founded Orbital, which is a commercial business-to-business internet service provider. Back in the day when the internet was fairly new, so the late 90s. In 2005, VFast was born because we realised there was a need for residential services, which is not something that we typically supplied as Orbital. It became really apparent very quickly that there was an appetite for this on holiday parks as well. So we sort of rolled out a network supplying broadband to holiday parks, but kept it fairly small scale, sort of 400 or 500 users in the Kent area, which is where we're based. So our head office is in Canterbury, in Kent, where we've got about 60 employees working in the offices there. Around 4 years ago, we run a contract with Park Holidays UK to trial different technologies into their owner and rental bases. They were very interested and realised that, the future for connectivity on parks was of paramount importance to give them a competitive edge when selling, holiday homes and providing holidays. People need to be able to work away from their main residence. People need to be able to carry out tasks on holiday. The children want to use their Xboxes. So in general, that they foresaw this coming. So they asked us to trial different technologies on different parks. So we used a hybrid mix. Some we done fibre directly to the actual mobile home base. So fibre optic cables directly to it and cabinets around the park feeding that. Others we've done purely high capacity WiMAX to feed the caravans themselves, and then we take the broadband down and transmit inside, because as you're probably all aware, the days of Wi-Fi being able to cope, being stuck up on lampposts around the parks, not being able to penetrate the well-built mobile homes these days very well, you just end up with angry holidaymakers and angry owners in their caravans, not able to get a good signal. And of course, the devices need to also penetrate the walls to get back to the APs or the access points that are spread around the park. So our solution is to take that broadband, just the same as any residential property or business, inside the actual caravan itself and broadcast out, so they have their own broadband connection. So we've currently, when we first started this, the trial went so well. In January this year, they renewed a 5-year contract with us to roll it out across 14,000 bases, of which we've done very nearly now. And they've just purchased a further 9 parks, which they're also adding on to that contract. So we're very busy doing that. We've got regional engineers up and down the country because the park holiday parks are based, pretty well, top of Scotland down to the bottom of Cornwall. So that's keeping us really busy at the moment. However, in between, so word quickly spreads because, as you know yourselves, a lot of these holiday parks are congregated in areas, especially if they're holiday parks. And so people talk. The neighbouring parks now want our service, and we've been supplying them as well and gradually rolling it out. But so what we've done is create a specialised section of VFast Limited called VFast Parks. There's a new website launching next week, which I'll give you all the details for, which purely is focused on dealing with park owners and how they can monetize and earn revenue from supplying broadband to both holiday homeowners, residential park owners, and also holiday makers. So I'll probably leave it at that for now. Obviously, any questions, I'm happy to answer any later on or whenever.
We really appreciate that. Appreciate that very much indeed. And we're going to move now straight across to another service provider for the industry. And what I want to say is this, that anybody that's got a product or service can be brought into this business, whether you're somebody, I'm a gentleman just leaving now, that's a will writer. So all of these products and services can be brought into the park industry, into the association. And we're more than pleased to help you get connected. We're joined now by an incredible young man from Bonnie, Scotland, a wee haggis up there in the north. Is Kent Mitchell. Lovely man. He's been on some VIP training days. He owns and operates a park on the West Ferry Lodges. Now he's going through at the moment building a brand new park, starting out with 20 approved units. Kent at the moment is looking for stock, and we're currently supporting him in that search to get the right stock onto his site as he builds it. So I want to speak to Kent as a start-up park operator. Now his business, his family are an entrepreneurial family that invests in cafes and restaurants and nightclubs, conference and venue centres, as well as owning land on this beautiful space in West Ferry. Kent, please do introduce yourself. You're a startup park operator. You've got planning. Planning's been there for some time, and you're now moving to the next phase of growth and development. Please do introduce yourself, your name, and of course, if you want to share some details where we can contact, but the journey, what's it been like? Where are you at in the journey? What stage you're at? And what are you going through to bring this first park to life?
Yeah, so we had planning. My father and his brother kind of bought the lands a good few years ago.
Hey, Ken, just try and get your head center screen on TV for me, sir. Just get yourself center, just a future viewing, a little bit lower, with your head lower down.
All right.
Yeah, you got it. So there you go. Handsome. Thank you.
Tip it back a bit.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we're just in the process now of getting power and stuff put onto the premises, well, onto the lands, and trying to find a kind of supplier, obviously bouncing back and forward with yourself, trying to get a good supplier. But I think obviously the trouble is, you know, it's such a booming industry just now. It's stock, trying to get stock, and obviously COVID's not helped. So we're just looking for stock now to get the park up and running.
And just to jump in there as well for you today, I put out a broadcast in terms of stock specifically for you, but you're not the only person that's asking for stock. Actually, just 2 days ago, I was talking to, alongside Kim, with a very senior director, board director of one of Europe's largest park home operators, about the current climate and situation. And we can't mention his name because it was a private conversation. But of course, everybody is looking for stock. But Ken, you've got this most beautiful park. It's a startup. You've got this vision. You've had your designs and drawings. You're going through the infrastructure of bringing in your electricity. You know, your infrastructure, your sub infrastructure is going in. You want to get this site up and running. You want to get your site live. I mean, what situation are you in terms of frustration? Are you content with where you are? And how can we help you as an association or members that's on right now to help resolve the issue? Obviously, of course, helping with stock as well.
So, yeah, well, basically, we're looking for about 20 units. I think we're going to start in a couple of phases. So we're going to do phase one, which would be 7 units across the front, so a water kind of facing property, literally 10 minutes from Glasgow city centre. So yeah, we're just putting the infrastructure in now, just contacting all different suppliers. We've been in contact with kind of SEPA and stuff like that. We've had a bit of issue with planning and stuff like that because of the site's a triple SI site, which is obviously and it's also in a green belt, so there's been a lot of issues with it, but it's getting there now. And like I say, I think it's going to be a good site. Oh, I know it's a good site. We've had 5 or 6 kind of people trying to buy it before it's even finished.
Absolutely. I mean, we're looking forward to seeing your park develop. Now, we're going to be bringing a story. I'll be heading up to Scotland, in the next few weeks, going to meet Kent. We'll be on site doing some filming about Kent's development of the site, pulling back the bushes and the shrubbery, the planning, the infrastructure, and showing what it's like to really go through the challenges, but the incredible startup growth journey of building the infrastructure of your park. Just want to go across to Dave and Kerry Woodhead very quickly, and I'm going to come back to Kent Mitchell. Thank you both for joining us. I know that you guys have got change overnight and you've been most patient, respectful, and I know that you've got to jump off now. What advice would you give to a startup operator? What advice would you give to Kent Mitchell, being an established, glamping and camping site now of some 15 years in Scarborough? What advice would you give to Kent with regard to those early stages of infrastructure and growth and development? Just unmute yourself there, Dave and Kerry, please. Hold on, let's just get you unmuted. Hang on, press the unmute. Love it, always smiling, even through adversity. There you go. Good to go.
My advice would be, don't give up. It'll be difficult. You'll face so many problems, especially with red tape, with planning, etc., like Dave was saying earlier, but don't give up. Just fight through it. You will get there in the end.
And how about our big man? Come on, Dave, because you just don't stop building, developing. You don't stop, do you?
Yeah, it's just keep going. It's just, you've got to do something. So, if your heart's there and everything, like you've said about us, it's, every day you'll keep pushing and pushing. And
oh, we're losing broadband just a little bit there with Dave and Kerry. Okay, we've lost Dave and Kerry. I'm just going to mute Dave and Kerry. Ladies and gentlemen, I muted Dave and Kerry because the broadband has gone. But actually, I shared, Dave doesn't know the broadband's gone. He's still talking. I can hear him, but I'm sure you can too. But I shared an incredible meal when I drove up on road trip to meet Dave and Kerry at Pinewood Park. Sorry, Dave and Kerry, your broadband has gone, so I've just unmuted you. There you go. You're back now. But still back now, but still frozen. 1 second. No, they're gone. No, they're back. They're gone. Internet. This is what we're talking about. This is where we need V-Fast, right? Guys, you're back on. Just unmute yourself. You're fresh and ready to go. Please carry on, Dave. Unmute yourself. Go on, Dave.
It was just to say, you just carry on, just keep going every day, just keep doing a bit, and just keep carrying on. It'll all get there.
Including V-Pass supplying better internet services on Pinewood Park, right?
Yeah,
okay,
definitely.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I appreciate that advice. We appreciate you coming. I can't wait to come back and see you again. We had a lovely meal together after seeing the new property and the development of the park, and actually had one glass of wine, and I was struggling, right, because I'm not a drinker, but one glass of wine. I slept like a log in the camper van, in the room camper, before going on to Hull for day 2. I just want to come across to Ian Duggan and to Joseph Finney now, and to Kent Mitchell. So Kent Mitchell, one of the things we spoke about earlier with Joseph Finney was the availability of older stock, and if stock wasn't available, doing a refurb on stock and considering getting that on site. And I thought about this quite extensively when I spoke to Joe. Joseph, please do just unmute yourself. So from a point of view of the challenges of a park home, and let me just see if I can put you guys to the test. So let's say Kent Mitchell is struggling with stock, and he instructs Joseph Finney to go out to find older stock that Joseph then refurbishes, either delivers the old unit to site and refurbs on site in Scotland, 20 units, bang. What are the implications of the refurbishment and the logistics? Is that possible? And Mr. Ian Duggan, the insurance point of view, insuring those park homes that are being refurbished from an older home, what are the scenarios and situations to get them fully insured? Over to the three of you, away you go.
Well, in my point of view, I mean, if he finds some park homes that he likes the style of, the style of park home that he wants, he has them there on site ready for us. If he gives us a plan of what he wants us to turn it into, we can normally do that. For the exterior, new roof, new walls, etc., new windows, doors, 2 weeks, that's completely done. So we can turn that around within 2 weeks. That's not a problem for us to do that. So each one would generally take 2 weeks to do. On the inside, it's a different story to the spec of what they want. It can take any sort of time. But again, if he wants us to find park homes and actually bring them on site for him, if he doesn't want to go through all the rigmarole of finding them, we can do that as well. That's not an issue. In terms of the insurance provider, I mean, I don't know how you stand on that, but we do also do the maintenance plans, which we would still provide that free of charge with our full refurbs, which would then look after the home for the next 4 years, ensure its first coat of paint, and anything that would go wrong in the meantime with it.
Okay, and just to interject and to be sort of the balance of business, get us all networking. So if we were going to refurb park homes, then maybe we could speak to Nick Gander in terms of energy efficient solutions, heating solutions, bringing them into that refurbishment so that you may have a product that is energy efficient, that is a great home, that has also got great fireproofing and up to our fireproofing standards. What do you think, Nick? Is that something that's possible, the refurbishment of a home, to bring in this product? I'm just saving Ian till last because really putting him to the test on the insurance aspect of that.
Yeah, no, you're quite right. When doing refurbs, heating is obviously something that's very important. And if it is of a slightly older building, then perhaps, condensation issues have been there in the past. Our product is very easy to go retrofitting. So if it wasn't installed in the fabric of the building, you can quite simply stick it, if you like, to the ceiling. We have a fleece product. It's very, very flexible. So that can literally just be glued to the ceiling. We've got it on show, actually, with Adam White up at his Passive House centre there. So if anybody wants to go along and see how this product looks, and he's based in Croydon, Cambridgeshire. So there's an area where it can be seen. He's got it stuck to the ceiling just so people can literally see how the product works. But there is nothing wrong for this to be retrofitted. It's low voltage, it's 36 volts AC, so no one can hurt themselves. It's low surface temperature, it doesn't get over 42 degrees, so it's not going to damage the fabric of the building either. So yes, certainly something that we can help you guys with.
Okay, so being somebody that's an avid networker myself and bringing people together, hence forming the Park Home Holly Park Association, Kent Mitchell comes online. He's got West Ferry Park in Scotland. He's got planning for 20 units. He can't find stock. Joseph Finney from Park Home Shield goes out, finds stock suitable to be able to ship up to Scotland, and then he goes through a refurbishment process. During that refurbishment process, we have VFast installed in the internet, ready to go for service occupation. I'm not sure if VFast can deal with just 20 units or larger scale, but hey, we then go to Nick Gander that actually does the installation of this energy efficient heating service and systems. And then, of course, we go to Mr. Ian Duggan to ensure these products. Where there's a will, there's a way, surely, ladies and gentlemen. Kim, networking is important. Sandy Gardner came on yesterday, started speaking to you, and she's had a direct introduction to Mr. Alfie Best today, who said, yes, I want your energy charges. Sandy, I hope you're happy with that from yesterday. Thumbs up. Yes, indeed. Kim, networking, is it important to bring all these park operators and suppliers together and for us to network? And by the way, just as you think that your park is then ready to be able to go to market, Kent, you then go down to the gentleman in the box below you on Park Home Holly Park Opportunity Knox Squares, and you'll see Mr. Joel Vandermolen, award-winning film and documentary maker. And what he will do is he'll bring his TV crew and his cameras and his drones and his recording equipment up to your site, and he'll create a story about the development, the creation, and coming alive of the West Ferry lodges. That's going to be real very soon. Where there's a way, where there's a will, there's a way, and where there's an opportunity, there's a solution. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Park Home and Holly Park Association webinar series number 1. My name is Bradley Chapman, and tonight we've been joined by some very incredible guests. We'll be sharing out this broadcast tomorrow, and we'll also be doing one-to-one interviews with each and every one of the people that's been on tonight's broadcast. So far, we've been about 7 minutes left to go before we're on time at close off time at 6:45. We're going to do a quick round robin. On behalf of myself, I'm going to say thank you. I'm going to pass to my good lady partner and co-director of the association, Kim, just to reintroduce herself, her role and what she does, and then she is going to give everybody a goodbye around the table and sign off all within 7 minutes. Go on, Kim, away we go.
So thank you for all coming on board. I'm Kim. I've spoken to most of you at some point during the past few weeks, and it's very nice to connect faces with names. So it's been really wonderful to sit here, listen to a bit more about your businesses and learn a bit more about you. I am, as you said, Brad's business partner, director, co-director in the association, and mostly I'm working on the operational side of things. So normally it's me that sends out your emails with your membership packs and things like that. So it's me sitting in the background there if you get emails from things like that. So it's lovely to meet you all. So I'm going to say good night, and I hope we'll see you all on our next webinar. And I'm going to do a round robin and say good night to everybody. So
Kim, just before you do that, I'm just going to flow, if I may, just a fly in the ointment. I just want you guys, I want to share this quick video. It's only 60 seconds and then Kim will close off. But of course, if I can ask for your feedback on this video, and I hope that you can hear the sound. I'm going to share my screen and hopefully you can see the video. Can you see this blue screen here, Kim?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, just listen to this. Back at you, Kim.
Thank you. So I'm going to pass over to Nick Gander, who is the first person on my list to say goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody, and thank you very much. And if anybody wants to email me directly, they're more than welcome to nick@energycarbon.co.uk. But thanks, guys. Fantastic. Great association. Look forward to doing more with you guys.
Fabulous, Nick. Great stuff. Thank you.
So next I've got Kerry and Dave.
Goodbye, everybody. It's been lovely to join you all tonight. Anybody who wants to get in touch, info@pinewoodpark.co.uk.
Bye.
Thank you. And next I've got Joseph Finney.
Yeah, thanks, Kim. Well, I'd like to say goodbye to you all. It's been a pleasure being on here. If anybody'd like to get in touch, it's info@parkholmeshield.com. If Nick would like to drop me an email or Mr. Mitchell there, then I'd appreciate it. So thanks very much.
And Ian Duggan.
Yeah, I'd just like to say the comments, there is a will, there is a way. What I would say on the refurbs is check your individual policies. Lots of them are different. You might find that if you're on a new for old policy and it's a refurb, it might go into market value policy. So always check with your insurer. But there is a will, there's a way. If there's a scheme, just take a standalone policy out. It's quite easy. Thanks for having me. And yeah, any problems, get in touch. Happy to help.
Due diligence, and that's what we expect from an insurance man. Ian, thank you for that. I was giving you some time to check that out, but thank you. Great advice, feedback. Sorry, Kim, to you.
Thank you. And Sandy. You're muted.
Thank you. Hi, thanks very much, everybody. It was amazing. I'm really grateful for Brad and Kim for inviting me along. Thank you.
This one was on Kim, not on me. This was all down to Kim, Sandy.
Thank you, Kim.
Thank you.
We still got Ken Mitchell, Darren Brown, have we? No, Karen, just Ken Mitchell to go, I think, and Joel.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Sorry, it was a bit late today, catching on. Trouble logging in, but
you owe us a haggis.
Yeah.
No.
If it'd be handy if I could maybe get Joseph's contact details.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I'll message you straight after the event. Joseph, if you're happy for me to send mobile details across, I'll message
Yeah,
straight
send me
to
my
connect.
personal mobile. That's not a problem. Give me
Great
a call
stuff.
anytime.
Great
I'm
stuff.
happy to give advice or whatever.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Joseph.
And
Thanks,
Kim?
guys.
And Kim,
Thank
just
you, Kim.
is it just Joel? Is it Mr. Vandermolen, Mr. Cairns Film
No,
Festival?
we've got Darren Brown.
Yeah, do you want me to go next? Okay, thanks for having me, guys. It's been interesting, and I can't wait to do it again, to be honest with you. One thing I did forget to mention, which I quickly want to chuck in there, if you are thinking of having VFast at any point in the future, and you're placing orders for vans now for new stock, both ABI and Willoughby both have the facility to pre-fit the wiring for the VFast system. And I believe it's at no additional cost as well. So it's well worth bearing that in mind for the future, even if it's in 18 months' time or whenever you can actually get stock. If anyone wants to contact me directly, I'll give you my main email address, which is dsb, so Delta Sierra Bravo, @orbital.net. And the VFast Parks website should be launched middle of next week, and that will be vfastparks.com. Thanks, guys.
Absolutely fantastic. I think that is everybody we've got on the goodbye. Of course, Dave and Kerry Woodhead. Have we missed anybody, Kim?
Joel.
Just
Mr.
me.
Just Mr. Film. Sorry, Mr. Film. Come on, Joel. Actually, you know, look, we've got a meeting in Grays on Friday discussing the life story of a certain individual that's just been online, Joel, haven't we?
Oh, indeed. Yeah, can't wait. Looking forward to seeing you. But one thing you said, Bradley, about on this call is so interesting, that how everything can link into, you know, what you guys do in the park industries and adding value. I mean, we make films, we document people's life story to become a treasured family keepsake and leave a legacy that live forever. But you've got residents on the park homes that are retirees, or on the holiday parks homes. So where we could add value to you when you own the park homes, if you know, there are communities there. I saw that from the ITV show, how they all gather around the bar on the Undercover Big Bosses. You were amazing, Bradley. And Kim as well. I didn't know that was Kim. So
how dare you leave out my screen wife?
But it's interesting how everything can interlink. And I never saw that when I came on the call. I did not see how, but it's a very profound experience for people, and it's a very interesting journey to document one's life. And we also do that with businesses as well. And Nick, your company about sustainability. Sustainability is huge right now. And that's something we could submit to BAFTA doing something on your business. Likewise, on the broadband front of it, Darren, there's certainly broadband. I've got a background in what you do, and so very special and very interesting how to connect with everybody. I'm really surprised and so grateful for being on here and meeting everybody. If you want to check me out, it's vandercomfilms.com, and you can see everything that we do there. And I look forward to the next call. Thank you.
No, we really do appreciate that. And Kim, thanks for introducing everybody. And look, very humbly, all myself and Kim and our committee can be an open source for you to come to us, to say to us what it is that you need, and we'll do as best as we can with the skills and ability that we have currently to bring you all together, whilst always promising to make sure our ears are open to listen to you. Because if we listen to our providers, if we listen to our park operators for their needs, we can find a way to help them navigate towards successful and repetitive growth. We're here to support the park industry. We're here to bring people together. And we believe that we're going to be a leading park association, purely for parks, purely for suppliers, without the arbitration of residents. We'll leave that to other incredible associations with the greatest respect to the roles that they fill. But we are here for you, for your business, for your park to grow, whether that's through organic growth, whether that's through training, education, and supportive growth. But above all, as Joel said, we cannot grow as individuals, but together as a group and a member of association. This is just the beginning, I believe, of something wonderful. We hope that you've enjoyed this evening's webinar. We want to say thank you to our panelists for giving up some time this evening, for coming on board. On behalf of myself, I'm humbly grateful that you've given us the time and you've trusted in us to join the association. We won't stop pushing forward, and we hope that you will join us and sharing the word for what we do with people that you know that may be interested and coming on board. But for now, on behalf of Kim and myself and all the panel members here, Parkham Holiday Park Association, it's a good night and thank you very much indeed. Good night and God bless.